Okay, to my pleasant surprise, I can see that there's some birds out already for me. They're not in the boxes I got to unpack. And also the machine is half full, so that means there's going to be no problem for me to turn the machine on and put the sign down to start loading. So because there's some open, I'm going to put the sign down and simultaneously turn it on, and then we'll start loading birds into the magazine. Obviously we got a lot of birds in the machine, and if there weren't a lot of birds in the machine, or as you're filling, you can open a box on the go. The main thing about opening a box is try not to make a lot of extra pieces. You should be able to have 5 pieces. So you pull out your dividers, make sure they come out easy, and then they go in a box that you've already started with dividers. Now what I like to do is I look for claybird pieces, and I usually dig out of the center of the box first. And these all look okay. I can fill that mag, fill this one. And then as I look down in the bottom of the box, when I take the second stack out, I look in the box to see if there's any pieces. If there's no pieces of clay in the box, your stacks are probably okay and you can put them right in. And that's how you start another box. But we always want to put all of the dividers like this. Take them apart and put them in the box. After we turn the machine on, and obviously it's running, it can start throwing birds any second, because we put the sign down to show people that we're ready to go. So you just simply, as it oscillates back and forth, you kind of give your birds a little bit of a look to make sure that's stuck together, and don't put any broken birds in, but just start filling it up. Now that reflects a magazine that is almost full. When the birds are absolutely even with the top of the steel, that's clear full. Don't put any more above that at all ever, because even though it looks like it'll work, it won't. The bird will end up going down into the magazine and get into the rollers, and then there'll be a trap mechanic having to come and clean it out. And all it'll do is make your day longer. So when you're filling the machine while they're shooting, it's very easy to do. You'll get done way before the round is over. So you just keep the trap full. You've got plenty of time with a machine that's half full like this to open up more boxes. When you're assigned to the bank, you might want to make it convenient for yourself by always having some boxes open. But that's the roll right there, is just taking the birds, make sure you don't put any cracked or broken ones in there. Don't drop them, they're more fragile than eggs. If they're shaking, they're breaking. So it's going pretty good, just filling the machine up. There are occasions where you and maybe another loader buddy might be loading a machine that's not running. Loading a machine that's not running is very easy to do, obviously, because it's not running, but it becomes very difficult to fill because the distance between the roof and the trap gets real narrow. And so usually you can't put more than 3 birds at a time up here to get them in. So it's quite slow and it's hard work. The other thing is, being you're not loading from the back of the machine when it's running and it's not running, you're reaching over. And if you're reaching over and you hit your back of your hand on the underside of the roof, you usually drop a bird. And you can't do that. If you drop a bird, you need to get it out. Fortunately, this one didn't break. But if you drop a bird in there, you got to get all the pieces out, because it will not feed. It'll stop and it'll make a whole lot more broken birds, and it'll be a delay of the game. So when you're not loading on the go, make sure you don't drop any birds into the magazine. Don't load higher than the steel. It looks like it'll work, but it won't. They'll in the magazine, and they'll end up in the mechanism, and it'll be all broken birds. And we all know who did it, because it ain't long after you get out, the machine quits throwing.